YouTubers, and welcome to my first video on this channel, which is the Whovians Assemble. My first video is going to be a review on the Tom Baker story, the Sontaran Experiment. I thought I'd do this review because I've watched the story recently online because I've lent the DVD to someone, and I really like this story. I think it's a cracking little two-parter. Set on the lush green hills and featuring the Sontarans, as the title suggests, and it's a Tom Baker story, so you can't really go wrong there. Yeah, this story is notable for being sort of the first story to feature outside. It's a complete outdoor story, really. There's no inside like claustrophobic corridors or anything like that. It's completely outside, which I really like, actually. I think Spearhead from Space did feature a lot of outside location footage, but I think the Sontaran Experiment was the first story that had actually, managed to film the entire story outside. The basic sort of premise, is pretty simple, really. A Sontaran is using these sort of little spacemen that are on the planet where they are. I think it's sort of the future of Earth, or something like that. I don't know, I can't quite remember. But basically, the Sontaran is sort of, analysing the spacemen's strategies. So I think the Sontaran can compare it for an invasion. So that's pretty much the basic story premise. And the story itself is actually a two-parter, and as a two-parter, it works really, really well. Because as the story premise is really basic, it gives the story a chance to, have a really good standout setting and a really good standout script, cast, and all that kind of stuff. So that's one of the reasons that I think this story really works well, because of the fact that I think the cast is fairly small. You've got a few spacemen. You've got the Doctor, Sarah, and Harry, so that's 4, I think, and you've got the Sontaran, which, it's a really, really small cast, and I think that's a really good thing, because you don't really want to have a massive cast. And I believe when they were working in the story, I believe the conditions when filming were really pretty bad and really crap, so I kind of respect the production side of the story, because obviously they were working in tough conditions. But so performances-wise, it's I think all the cast are really, really good. So I can't remember any of the actors who played either the Sontaran or the spacemen, but from what I can see in the story, they are really, really good. Obviously, Elizabeth Sladen, Ian Marter and Tom Baker are very, very good. They are on top form as usual, and because this is Tom Baker's first season, he is really going for it. He's really establishing himself as the Doctor, and I believe in the story, I can't remember whereabouts he did it, but Tom Baker actually did break his arm in this story, which he still managed to carry off the role brilliantly, and that's one of the things I respect about Tom Baker, is that he still managed to completely, carry on his role despite his injury. I think it was his right arm that, because I think when he was fighting the Sontaran, he sort of slipped off the side of a rock and might have landed on his arm, which caused it to, be injured. And that's sort of a thing that you've got to carry on with it, even though you've injured yourself, you've still got to carry on with the role. But Tom Baker did it brilliantly, and that's what makes Tom Baker the 4th Doctor. As for the Sontaran, Sontaran Stike, I believe his name is, he is fantastic. He's probably my favourite Sontaran. I think the design looks absolutely brilliant. He is my favourite Sontaran. I do like Lynx as well, but I think the Invasion of Time Sontarans look really, really bad. Yeah, they look so bad. And also the Sontaran sort of probe, little robot thing that patrols the hills. Yeah, that's quite a rubbish design. I really like the Sontaran spaceship as well. I think their spaceships are probably my favourite spaceships as well. So yeah, I really like the exterior design of the spaceships, and I think we get to see a little bit of the inside. I can't quite remember, but yeah, the Sontaran spaceship looks really cool. And yeah, I think the Sontarans themselves they're a good villain. They appeared two more times in the classic series, in the Invasion of Time and the Two Doctors, and they appeared again in the new series, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I really like the Sontaran in the story. I think he's a great character, and the actor who played him was brilliant, and I love the mask as well. So yeah, I think the Sontaran is amazing. That's probably my favourite bit about the story, is the Sontaran himself. And the fight with the Doctor is just amazing. Elizabeth Sladen, Annie and Marta, or Sarah Jane Smith and Harry Sullivan, they don't really get to do much in this story. It's more or less about the Doctor, the spacemen, and the Sontarans. But still, you know, they still give really engaging performances, and their enthusiasm just really enthralls me. And I think that's another highlight of the story, is that I think all the cast really enjoyed themselves, and I think they really did like working on this story, because it's a very, very good story. I wouldn't consider it as a bad one. Yeah, it's probably one of my favourite Tom Bakers, and probably, if not my favourite Sontaran story to date. I don't know when the Sontaran's going to feature again, but by the looks of things, they're not going to feature again for a very, very long time. But yeah, I think Elizabeth Sladen and Ian Marter give really good performances, and I think they are really good actors and actresses, and I can always sit down and enjoy them. I've never seen a bad performance from them. I think they are really good characters for Sarah Jane Smith, and really good people to play Sarah Jane Smith and Harry Sullivan. Harry is one of my favourite companions. Not just because he shares the same name as me. It's because I think he's one of the best male companions alongside Jamie. But yeah, that's my opinions. I'm sure you've got your favourite companions and things. So yeah, I think they constantly give really good performances, and that's what I think makes them really good companions as well. By their performances, they bring the character to life, which you've got to respect them for. And most Doctor Who actresses and actors did that. They brought their characters to life, which is what I love about a show like this. They can always bring a character to life, even if it's a bad villain or a good character. They can always bring it and give it a lot of energy, unless it's a character that needs, or a very slow-moving character. Then they'll give it, not so much of an oomph. So yeah, is there anything else to point out? No, I don't think so, really, because obviously it's a two-parter. There's not really an awful lot to say. But yeah, basically, I do recommend you watch the Sontaran Experiment, because it really is an enjoyable story. It's part of the Bradford Wall box set, but I think you can buy it singularly as well, so you might want to do either of those. So yeah, I think this is a fairly short review actually, and it's my review of the Sontaran Experiment, which is my first video on the Whovians Assembled channel. So I hope you enjoyed it. I might do another review sometime soon, just depends what it will be. And so yeah, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on the Whovians Assemble YouTube channel.